Okay, greetings to anyone who's tuned in. We will be starting very shortly in the next few minutes. I've got a video to play us in with. We'll be looking at does trauma control the mind, and can we link that to any recent news stories that we might have heard of? Okay, I will be back in a few minutes. Greetings to anyone who's joined us already. Yeah, as I say, we have got a video to play in with. If you want to watch it yourself, it goes on for about 3 minutes. And then once that's finished, we will be going live properly. Greetings to CC Jenny. I see you in the live chat. Thanks for joining us. If anyone's got anything they particularly wish to for us to take a look at this evening, we certainly can. Anyone who caught my live stream last week might remember I sort of mentioned a quiz that I was going to do. It was quite ambitious. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to commit to it, and there wasn't a huge amount of take up. But anyway, so yeah, a couple of things to cover this evening. I will just check my audio. Yeah, I'll get that video playing now actually, and then I'll be back in a second. This video is from the YouTuber, sorry, not the YouTuber, the 153 Newser Jeffersonian girl. The link will be in the live chat in a second.
Watch out for the snakes, yeah, watch out for the... I seen all the signs, I seen all the signs. They've been telling lies, they've been telling lies.
Martin and Trina Daniel, aged 53 and 49, a black couple who decided not to get the coronavirus vaccine over concerns based upon the federal government's infamous Tuskegee study, died on July 6th from COVID-19.
53 and 49, a black couple who decided not to get the coronavirus vaccine over concerns based upon the federal government's infamous Tuskegee study, died on July 6th from COVID-19.
The Daniels were married for 22 years and have 2 teenage children.
All the signs, I seen all the signs. They've been telling lies, they've been telling lies. Watching how I move, watching how I move. I've been keeping track now. Watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the copying what I do every time. They wanna take what's mine. They busy faking and telling me lies. Now I watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the snakes. Watch out for the snakes, yeah. Watch out for the copying what I do every time. They wanna take what's mine. They busy faking and telling me lies. Now I watch out for the snakes. You've been so focused on me, damn, I think you forgot about you. Feel like the goat, I'm surrounded by sheep. Damn, you've been busy watching me move, paying no mind, staying online. If you've been wondering, I'm doing fine. Made 150 in a year, I'm only 22, so don't pay me your time. Back with the track and I've been moving up.
Georgia couple dies from the coronavirus within hours of each other. Now, their loved ones in Hampton are begging anyone who will listen to get immunized.
Good Day's Alex Whitler has a story all new this morning.
High school sweethearts Martin and Trina Daniel never missed their kids' soccer games.
They went to all of their soccer games, attended every weekend, no matter where the soccer games were. We laughed about this a few days ago. Because they stayed at our house a few times during the soccer season.
The couple, who'd been married for 22 years and lived in Savannah, thought they'd come down with the common cold in July. They were taking over-the-counter medicine and drinking fluids.
Well, I got a call from his wife on the 6th at about 4:45 that evening. She told me that she said that Martin was being worked on by the EMTs and that he probably was gone.
That's Martin's brother, Homer Daniel. He says Trina sounded a tad out of breath on the phone, but family didn't expect another call saying she died 2 hours after her husband and just days after staying home sick.
Hours after her husband and just days after staying home sick.
All the signs, I seen all the signs. They've been telling lies, they've been telling Watching how I move, watching how I move. I've been keeping track now, watch out for the snakes.
Okay, that was the video that can be found on 153 News. I've put a link in the live chat, and I certainly meant to put one in the live chat. Yeah, it should be in there. I hope you can all see it. First of all, I'd like to say hello. I've already said hello to CC Jelly. Hi to Andrew Leggett, Bob Newell. Both have been mentioning the Plymouth incident, and as the thumbnail to this video would suggest, we are going to have a look at that this evening. Yeah, I just seen the link to the video on 153 News is in there. I'm not going to cover too much about the old virus or vaccine tonight, unless anyone particularly wants to look at it. It's very difficult to avoid, of course, but it's nice to have a break of it. Interesting. I mean, I don't watch the news at all, and to be honest, this look that we're going to have a look at the Plymouth incident tonight will be the first I've really seen of it, because, as I say, I don't follow the news very closely. I'm curious to see whether we get any of the usual giveaways, such as coded numbers. Andrew Leggett says there's 3s and 33s all over the place. We'll see. Greetings to David. The only name in Plymouth story with a 33 name was Maxine. Couldn't find anything else. Lots of 3s though. Okay, and of course the age of the shooter. I say I haven't looked at anything yet, but I did have a quick squiz. A 22 comes up. I believe that this guy who did the incident was supposedly 22. In fact, I will share my screen and we'll have a look at the article. If anyone's got anything, knows anything more than we cover in this one, let me know. The one thing I do remember is I'm pretty sure we saw an image of a young victim, like the girl that supposedly got shot. That was published within the first couple of, assume that was basically the original promo shot, was a picture of like about a 5-year-old. 3-year-old girl was among 5 people killed in Plymouth shooting. Police have revealed more details about the victims and the killer. Bear one thing in mind: if someone's arrested for a crime, normally the police are quite reluctant to reveal too much about it, as far as I know. If you start giving away too much to the press, then that can lead to can't it mess up the trial? Because it means that those people won't be open to a fair trial. I'm not sure why I've got all these adverts on the side of the screen. Right, let's see what this video has. 47 seconds. We'll have a watch of it. See, of course we've got to watch an advert first. Oh no, we don't. Well, what a pointless video this is. On a very, very, very quiet street, the police have shut the road. And some guy gets out of his police car. KT13EAJ. It's always worth putting number plates through the numerology calculator. I do not have one installed on this computer, unfortunately. Bob Newell says Portsmouth has that shooter, US shooter Virgin Elliot vibe. Virgin Elliot, that's not one I'm immediately familiar with. It's probably a story I've heard, I'm just not familiar with the names. Let's have a look. How long till the usual signs start coming up? Right, police in Plymouth have said a 3-year-old girl and her male relatives were 2 of 5 people killed in a massacre in the city on Thursday. At a press conference in Plymouth on Friday, August the 13th. Is this one of their numbers? August the 12th, what would that be? 812, 812, of course that comes to 20, whether that's of any relevance. Chief Constable Sean Sawyer, a dual name, SS, from Devon and Cornwall Police, released details of the shooting. Again, they're normally very cagey about details. They wouldn't just give this stuff out to the press. 7 people from Wales arrested after Liverpool street attack left man fighting for his life. Okay, that's a different story. 6 people were killed, including the gunman. Boy 2 dies after bridge and... okay, right, the gunman has been named as 22, there we go, 22-year-old Jake Davidson. Police said in the incident the worst mass shooting in Britain since 2010 was not terror-related. Not sure how they worked that out, because he was white, I guess. In a press conference today, police have revealed details of the shooting, including the victim's relationship to the gunman. Now, I'm kind of suspicious of the picture we see of that guy. To me, it looks photoshopped. I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like that site. Hang on, I'll pop it up now very quickly. This person does not exist. There we go. And it'll just immediately bring up, oh, okay, this cat does not exist. I wanted this person, but let's see if we can change it. Yeah, there. Why does it keep going to this cat? This person does not exist. Oh. And it will create random images of people, very lifelike looking, but they're not real. Wouldn't it be funny if the guy, what was his name, to someone, Elliot, turned up? Oh. Yeah, I'm very... Jake Davidson. I mean, you can see, I don't know how well you can see in the eyes and the hair. It just looks very, very odd. And the eyebrows. But yeah, apparently this guy... Let's see. Mr. Sawyer said police believed the first female victim and Davison were known to each other and said there was a view that there was a familial relationship. Mr. Sawyer said he did not yet know of any formal relationship between Davison and the other victims. We believe we've seen an incident that is domestically related and spilled onto the streets. Again, is this what you would think of as trauma-based mind control? For a lot of people, they just don't want to see it, they don't want to read about it, they don't want to hear about it, but it sticks in their mind. Awful things are happening supposedly out on the streets. Mr. Sawyer said that the shooting in the property entered Biddick Drive, where he immediately then shot and killed a very young girl. He also shot and killed his male relative. This was a truly shocking event and was witnessed by members of the public. Further along Biddick Drive, he aimed and shot at 2 local residents. It goes on to tell us a bit about the guy, see if anything sounds familiar. They were being treated in hospital. Okay, look, interesting, not a single mask in that image, but just as they could do away with all that kind of nonsense, they're coming back talking about the Taliban, talking about mass shootings. Okay, where was the bit I found interesting? Yeah, someone said about 13's coming a lot. He said he regarded police response time of 6 minutes as phenomenal. Multiple shots have been fired from a firearm. There are some 13 scenes and potentially more scenes. What does that mean exactly? Right, has a motive been established? Mr. Sawyer praised the response. Here we go. Are Mr. Davidson's recent social media posts going to be looked at? They will be by us if we can find them. Mr. Sawyer said police would look at Davidson's social media output as part of the investigation. He said there was an extraordinary, unusual response by a fellow human being. Whether there was mental health issues, I cannot say at this time. he said most eyewitnesses were shocked at what was unfolding before them, but there was no evidence to suggest Davidson was saying anything as he carried out the atrocity. Had he been saying anything like Allah Akbar, boom, there's your terror. That would then become a terror incident, and they could arrest this guy's brother if they wanted to, just like they did with Salman Abedi. His brother wasn't even in the same country, and yet he got charged with the murder of 22 people in Manchester. Absolutely insane. But Davidson, who posted on YouTube channel under the name Professor Waffle, said he did not have any willpower to do any more. He also, if you ever hear me say I don't have any more willpower to make any more videos, you might want to start worrying. He also liked a series of videos about guns and shared posts on Facebook quoting former American President Donald Trump. Oh no, he was a Trump enjoyer. So in a minute we'll go and see if we can find Professor Waffle on YouTube. In an 11-minute video, which appears to be the last posted before Thursday's incident, he refers to difficulties meeting women and struggles to lose weight, as well as saying that after working in scaffolding when he was younger, he was never the same again after ankle injuries. Yeah, they seem to have an awful lot of details about this person, which kind of seem completely irrelevant. And in any genuine news stories, I just don't think it would be... It appears it's part of the narrative. They want you to view anyone that makes YouTube videos as potentially dangerous. Anyone that has trouble meeting women, anyone that may have hurt their ankle working as a scaffolder, they want you to treat them as potential nutters, basically. And we'll have a look at the live chat in a second. Yeah, he felt beat down and defeated by life. Davidson was still in the same house, same situation, same position, and talked about wanting to regain the driving motivation he once had. He did not clarify himself as an incel. Have you ever heard this one before? Incel? The abbreviation used online for involuntarily celibate. For those unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. Okay. I mean, this story goes on a bit. When it goes to trial, can you really say this guy? Let's say it's genuine. A lot of people in the chat are questioning it, and I agree. Greetings to JT33. Thanks for joining us. And Cider Guy. JT33, we played one of your, back last week, it was your new music. We made play out on it this evening. I think I've still got it installed. Okay, where were we? Forensic officers in protective clothing, yep. Oh, in another clip, he discusses missing out on a teenage romance and refers to chads, an incel community term for good-looking men who attract women. Oh yeah, chads, I know them. Forensic officers in protective clothing could be seen. The incident is the first mass shooting in Britain since June 2010, when taxi driver Derek Bird killed 12 people and injured 11. And what number does that give us? 12 and 11? 23. They always have the numbers. No doubt about that. What's this? One more video, and then let's see if this is a bit more entertaining than just a police car parked on a street. I'm just going to have a quick look at the live chat. CC Jelly says, were there any shoes left at the scene? Hopefully we will find out, because you're absolutely right, that is a big one. I did once do a video about how to spot a fake event, some of the things to look for, the numbers, information about victims are brought out the very same day, if not, in a very short amount of time. Information that in genuine cases of murder are kept very quiet. In fact, you sometimes never even find out about the victim. But in these events that are covered by pretty much every mainstream media outlet, they tell you everything. Right, let's watch this video. I'm curious. Oh, hang on. I would be curious to know who posted the video as well, who gets credited. But we'll see that in a minute. Oh, nothing's happening. They probably want to play an advert first. Should not have done that. Okay, the video ain't going to play. Whatever. Okay, apparently Jake Davidson was a licensed firearm holder, the circumstances of which will now be subject to full independent investigation and scrutiny. Well, they came up with that decision very quickly to do a full independent investigation. It was only like, well, it was a few days ago now, but both non-armed and armed officers attended within 6 minutes. Yeah, that number's come up a few times. For some reason, this won't play. Oh, here we are. Let's see. Any shoes left at the scene? That was CC Jelly's suggestion. Oh, greetings also to Susan Byrne in the chat. 610. There's another number coming up.
We're at Biddick Road in Keam for tonight. The incident that's happened a few hours ago, it's been described as a critical incident. Devonport Police have now, in the last few minutes, released an official statement. I'm going to read that out to you. Police were called to a serious firearms incident in Biddick Drive in the Keam area of Plymouth at around 6:10 today, 10 past 6, Thursday 12th of August. Officers and ambulance staff attended. There have been a number of fatalities at the scene and several other casualties are receiving treatment. A critical incident has been declared. The area has been cordoned off and police believe the situation is contained. Road closures are in place, so please avoid the area. We are appealing to the public not to speculate or share pictures of the scene on social.
Well, we don't need to speculate because the press have given us a very detailed what we want you to know situation. They've told us literally everything that there is to know. They've told us, but we'll carry on. I'm not sure who made this Johnny on the spot video because it's always worth checking those things out. Why is this video not playing? Hang on.
Or anywhere else. We will provide more information on, and they give us a log number. If there's anyone with information, they should phone police on 101, reading log number 768 of today's date.
Hang on, the area has apparently been cordoned off, but not to the camera crew that want to come and film the police dogs searching the area. Oh, come on. Apologies for this rubbish video playback. I will say, while we don't have any shoes at the moment, there are a pair of shoes here at the side.
But you can still go down there. You would have to get up if you're walking. It's just...
Yeah, here we are. Police are asking people not to speculate or share pictures. Well, we don't need to because we can get all the official pictures from the news, can't we? Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay. Police were called to a scene of this. All the next of kin All the next of kin of the deceased have been located and informed, but bear in mind, I'm not sure what time the shooting happened at 6 p.m. just after, and by 9 minutes past midnight, they were already reporting all of this. So within 6 hours, every single next of kin was located and informed. Very believable, I'm sure. Just a couple more minutes of this. Investigations are continuing. Disruption to the road network area will remain throughout. John Mercer, I'm aware of a serious and tragic incident involving in Plymouth. Please obey all instructions. It's curious though. I mean, the perpetrator's already been named. He's dead apparently. It just goes to show, I mean, who knows what really happened in this story. My gut feeling is that it's fabricated from start to finish. I mean, who cares what Priti Patel has got to say about it? But just say if there was another gunman involved. I mean, that's supposing anyone even passed on. It's just curious how within a matter of hours, the story's done. You know, they told you everything you need to know. Right, I'm going to look in the chat. Bob Muir, it's got all the buzzwords, this one. Of course it does. They use the same. They probably got a pre-written script for every story well in advance. Cider Guy, exactly. Things are kept in-house by the police in genuine murder cases, obviously because it would affect the case and any trial later. Yeah, I suppose what with them now saying, I mean, for all we know, yeah, it's just very dangerous to suddenly say, we don't need to look into this anymore. The only possible person that could have done it is dead. I'm not sure how far apart these two are meant to be. I want to look at this guy's YouTube channel to see if it's still on there. Now, here we go. These stories, everything we know about the Plymouth shooting, what those stories always mean is everything we want you to believe. Why would they put such a horrible story out in the press if it wasn't real? Right, let's see. The guy was called Professor Waffle. Is it in bad taste to watch his YouTube channel? I don't think so. We'll see. YouTube.com. I mean, I can't see how they would have taken it down, but they might have done. David says, can anyone remember Soham, Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman? Yes, I do remember that story. That was the first fake story that Sky covered live every day. You're right, I do remember that one being covered, and it ended up being the guy from the school. Wasn't he a caretaker or something? Professor Waffle, second one down for some reason. No, I want the actual channel. I don't want to. Let's see. Is it still in existence? If it is, then Professor Waffle. Could that be it? We'll have a look. It's the only one I can find of that name. No. I don't think these are the correct videos. Oh well. It looks like someone else has uploaded some of his work though. Looking through his videos. Should we have a watch of some of these just to see how... I'll tell you one thing this story may be doing, if nothing else. Inkel. It's certainly putting a word in the people's... Is it vernacular? Is that the right name? Or obviously vocabulary, but Inkel, I've never heard that one before. Something they probably want people to be aware of, to see it as a dirty word almost. Right, we'll have to watch this video for a minute, this ad, and while we are... Cider Guy, Jake Davidson Kiam is 66 in numerology. Brilliant. Did not know that one. JT33 says the 33 is pure mockery on my behalf. Fair enough. I'm guessing that's why you've got it in your name. David, it's the same story. The gunman always kills himself. Yeah, it does make for a very tidy, clean case. They often do stories where the perpetrator doesn't necessarily kill himself. Like in Australia, the guy who supposedly ran down people on Burke Street. The YouTuber PK did a lot of great stuff on that. Right, let's see if we can watch this guy, Jake Davidson, on YouTube. Someone's uploaded some of his stuff. I'm not sure where the channel's actually gone now, but we'll have a look. Apologies if I've missed anyone's comment. Like I said, if you've got anything you want us to look at. Thinking of going back to the Soham murders with Jessica Chapman and Holly Wells. Is that the one where the girls were wearing the Manchester United top? Good bit of publicity for whoever sponsored Manchester United back then. Was it Vodafone or someone? Or I can't remember. But perhaps we'll look at that, see how many numbers pop up. Right, here we are. The
Terminator or something.
It sounds American, doesn't it?
Get my video age limited or taken down by YouTube. Independent and self-reliant, absolute loser. Even before we find out massive attention.
No.
Who is also
they've just got still images.
Now in the case of Jake Davison, aka Professor Waffle, and many other incels out there, these men are quite aggressive and angry about the fact that they're a complete failure when it comes to building normal, healthy relationships. And because Jake Davison was a YouTuber, he took to the internet to voice that frustration. So without further ado,
okay, I'm not going to watch this. This is... Oh no, hang on. He was about to show us some of the videos, I think.
take a little look at a clip that he uploaded shortly before he went on to do what he was going to do. Check it out.
Allegedly went on and did what he was going to allegedly do, because who knows how much of that is legit. I will share a link to this video in case anyone wants to watch it in full.
Because I can feel it. I remember when I was 16, 17, 18, just looking at a girl, just I could feel it, you know? Just you know? And I did have girls into me. I had girls into me. I had them into me. Fucking stupid, ridiculous mental barriers.
So in that clip there, you can see that man like Jake Davison is lamenting the fact that he couldn't get a girlfriend due to what he calls mental barriers. Now, most people on Earth have experienced it.
Okay, if you want to watch this video for yourself, I will share a link. But we're not going to plagiarise this guy's video too much. Let's see, I'll just put it in the live chat now. Cider guy, Manchester United shirts. Yeah, I remember that one. Supposedly the school caretaker and his partner, can't remember her name now, but okay, the link I've just put in the chat is for that video we were just watching. We'll have a look at the Holly Wells story very quickly. Again, more trauma-based mind control, vile stories that would depress anyone that takes it seriously. Holly Wells of Soham murders. There we go. We'll go straight to Wikipedia just to see if there is anything. A holy well. That looks quite cool. Right, my computer's running quite slow tonight. I do apologise. Again, 4th of August. It was the same sort of time of year. The Soham murders are of two 10-year-olds which occurred in Soham, Cambridgeshire. And they were lured to the home of local resident Kevin Huntley, who subsequently murdered them before disposing of their bodies. Huntley was convicted of murder on the 17th of December and received 2 life imprisonments. Maxine Carr, that was the partner. The girl's teaching assistant had knowingly provided Huntley with a false alibi. She received 3.5 years. I'm just looking to see whether there's any of the usual numbers coming up on this one. Disappearance at 11:45 a.m. the 4th of August. 4 and 8 is 12. Well, okay. By 3:15, both girls had changed into their distinctive replica Manchester United shirts. Oops. At 5:04, a photograph of the two of them were taken. Oh, that photograph was taken literally, the famous photograph of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman was taken like a few hours before they died, supposedly. At 6:15, okay. Chapman's Nokia mobile phone was switched off at 6:46. Okay. I'm not scanning it, I'm not reading it too closely, but so far, not so many of the numbers. 26, I guess. Over 260 registered offenders across the UK were questioned, although all were eliminated from their inquiries. Huh. I suspect if we did look into it closely, we probably could start finding them. They got 6:30. What's this? Several members of the public reported having seen the children in the early days of the investigation. One individual, Mark Tuck, informed investigators that he had driven past the girls upon Sand Street approximately 6:30. Well, there's one. His attention had been drawn toward their Manchester United replica shirts, causing him to remark to his wife, "Look, there's two little Beckhams over there." Yeah, right. Okay. I am going to have a look at the live chat. I'm kind of reading it backwards. So, Andrew Legiott says, police were called at 1811 to hold Dick Drive. 1811 is 9/11. Yeah, very good point, Andrew. Can I just... Which story? Sorry, I do get a bit lost. Is that this Soham case? I'm guessing it is, isn't it? I have to go back now. My apologies. Or was that... Okay, right. Cider guy. All he'd need was a haircut and a beard. This is referring to... I forgot his name already. This guy. Jake. All he'd need is a haircut and a beard and a trim, and he'd have no problems getting a date. I reckon 100% misogyny is the message in this psyop, I believe. Looking at Afghanistan, it's one of major things. That is very true, actually. It is again trying to, just like we had with the crazy policeman that supposedly killed that woman in London a month or so ago. It is suggesting that men are dangerous. Notice whether it's deliberate or not, they managed to squeeze a CC in by misspelling the word screen grab, but I'm sure that's just accidental. I'm disappointed that we could not find his YouTube channel though. I would like to have seen some of his videos. Right, let's see. Okay. Oh, David says Maxine is 33. Thanks for that, David. And Jake's mother is also Maxine. And what was the name of the woman involved in Soham? Was she Maxine, or am I thinking of something else? Maxine Carr? No. I may be getting things mixed up. It's investigation. Let's see. Sorry, I literally read this about 2 minutes earlier. 2 minutes ago. Now, Crime Watch. I remember I used to be quite a big fan of Crime Watch. You know, I say a big fan, but it used to be on every last Thursday of the month. I'd watch it. I used to find it quite interesting. What's that guy who used to say, "Oh, sleep well and don't have nightmares"? And then they did a story about I remember they launched a new look crime watch, and it was a particular story about an Asian guy who attacked an army guy jogging or something. Such a ridiculous story. It made no sense. In fact, I believe it was probably one of the first videos I ever made on my previous YouTube channel that got taken down. What was the name of the woman in this? I literally read it a minute ago. Huntley. I just can't remember whether the woman was called Maxine or not. Maxine Carr, yeah, you're absolutely right. And then, of course, apparently Jake's mother in the other story is also Maxine. So yeah, thanks ever so much for sharing that one, David. Andrew Lidgett says the son and the man are there. Fake codes as well as 3 and 33. I don't want to miss anyone's comments. If I have, my apologies. Susan Byrne, if I haven't said hello to you already. Greetings and welcome to the chat. And Bob Mule. Let's just catch up a minute. Andrew Lidgett says, like Davidson and Chapman. Andrew says, Everhard and Big Doc Drive. Good point. Yeah, very, very curious. I mean, I'm not sure what you guys think of trauma-based mind control, but anyone that follows the mainstream media too much, you never have to look too far to find something that you could sort of say is trauma-based mind control. Apparently, I've heard it compared to what used to be known as battered women syndrome, although apparently they now call it battered person syndrome. Horrible name, no doubt about that. But it explains, I believe it will explain a little bit about how people are controlled by such things as trauma. BWS is a pattern of signs and symptoms displayed by a woman. Of course, it doesn't have to just be a woman. I guess anyone could be a victim who has suffered persistent, intimate partner violence, whether psychological, physical, or sexual, by a partner. Again, this story is certainly pushing the narrative that all men are dangerous, or at least it's always men that are dangerous. It's classified as a battered person. There we go, battered person syndrome. But it is not. It may be diagnosed as a subcategory post-traumatic stress. The condition is the basis for. Hang on, let me zoom in a bit so we can read it better, hopefully. This is everyone's favourite one-stop click for everything you need to know about the official narrative. The condition is the basis for women's legal defence that has been used in the case of physically and psychologically abused women who have killed their male partners. Okay, fair enough. The condition was first researched. I wasn't expecting to read this. I thought it was going to tell us about how people are controlled by traumatic experiences. Let's see. Diagnosis. Concept and terminology. The concept of women are symptoms that have been found to occur after a woman has been abused in an intimate relationship. When the partner, usually but not always a man, exerted power and control to coerce her into doing whatever he wanted. Now, replace the word he with they, as in they, mainstream media. Walker stated, as there are significant differences between the theory of underlying BWS, there are no empirically supported data. It's not yet been applied to men, therefore the term used is BWS rather than gender-neutral battered person syndrome. Of course, men are abused by women, but the psychological impact on the man does not appear to be consistent with trauma in most cases. Okay, this isn't quite what I was looking at. I did see a breakdown in one story. Here we are. There's 4 stages. Now let's look at the original ones. The person is unable to accept that they're being abused, or they justify it as just that once. So let's say you put it to someone who is open to listening to mainstream media. You say, oh, by the way, they're trying to control you by reporting such horrible stories. They're not necessarily going to believe it, or here we go, denial. Or once they see it, once you remind them of a particular story, and you say, look, the press were blatantly lying in this incident, they say, oh, well, it was only just that once. And then the next stage apparently is guilt. The person believes that they caused the abuse. I'm not sure if that fits quite, but perhaps if we did an actual search for trauma-based mind control, what I do find when you look at this is it gets linked with a term MK Ultra, which I'm not suggesting MK Ultra isn't legitimate, isn't a real thing, but I believe it's been overused a lot to the point that, see, I'm not really sure whether any of these are worth looking at too closely. Okay, let's read this one. I'm not sure who wrote this article. While we're waiting for the page to load, I will have a look at the live chat, see if I've missed anything. CC Jelly says Crime Watch or rather Hoax Watch. Completely agree. Yeah, the story I remember. I mean, you could probably find it now if you looked for it. It was a soldier. He was out on a run from. He had been on camp. He was at the barracks, whatever. Went out for a run. 2 Asian men jumped out of a car. Although they had a knife, I can't remember what it was now. They stupidly didn't use a knife. The whole story made no sense whatsoever. But anyway, yeah, this article is meant to be a simplistic overview of trauma-based mind control and has been employed by the MK Ultra Monarch programming method. It is important to understand the foundation of how and why this type of control works with respect to trauma, disassociation, and subsequent programming. So yeah, there's another YouTuber, a European guy. Some of you guys may remember the name. I can't off the top of my head. He did do some interesting videos on trauma-based mind control, and what was his name? I used to be subbed to him on YouTube. Let's see if he is still there. We will go back to it in a minute. Subscriptions. I can't remember now what his name was, or even if he's still got a channel, but I seem to remember he was called Uli or Uli or. Let's see. No, I can't find him at the moment. Bear with me, I'm subscribed to a lot of channels. I think a lot of them are probably inactive these days. Yeah, I can't find a particular channel I'm thinking of now. But if anyone remembers him, he covered a lot of the hoaxes that went on. And what was his name? I think he interviewed PK once. I do remember that. If the name comes to me or anyone remembers, please let us know in the chat. Likewise, if anyone knows where you can find his stuff now. We'll go back to this. The system of mind control has its origins in Illuminati-based black magic practices. Multi-generational satanic cults and high-level Illuminati members have employed mind control for centuries. The basics of this type of mind control, slavery, was optimized and expanded after World War II following the gruesome experiments conducted in the Nazi concentration camps. Of course, what was reported about the Nazi concentration camps were far from true. Dr. Joseph Mengele. I mean, if ever you want to have a look at propaganda, just look at the reporting about the Nazis. Dr. Mengele disappeared from Auschwitz in January of 1945 and was smuggled into the US by the Illuminati. And was the lead programmer and became skilled in many things, including Kabbalistic magic, abortions, torture, and programming children. I don't doubt that for a second. When Mengele came over to the US, he existed mind control program and jumped from being an occult science to one that had full access to the medical, psychiatric, judicial, scientific, and government sectors via the power of the National Security Act and the intelligence agencies. According to Fritz Springmeier, the author of the Illuminati formula used to create an undetectable mind control slave, well, that's a title and a half, the Illuminati created the CIA. Intelligence agencies such as Britain's MI6 began investigating these mind control techniques very early on. These were most likely the early multiple personality Mancunian candidate types of agents. I don't know if any of you have ever read the book A Clockwork Orange or seen the film where they strap the guy up. I'm sure if I just do a search for Clockwork Orange, it will be the image that comes up. Where he's tied up and he's got his eyes pinned open. Not a particularly great film from what I remember. There we go, first image that comes up, and they force him to watch all these horrible scenes on television. I remember I bought a box set with the book and the video, and I actually read the book first. Someone gave it to me for Christmas because, of course, the film was banned, which made me think, oh, once a film gets banned, it becomes sort of very notorious, and I was very keen to see it. I would say, well, I wouldn't rate it that highly. Very strange book. But the film, they cut out a huge amount of it. They sort of went very close in detail, and of course they give you the one-eyed symbolism there. They used to paint one eye. But yeah, apparently they tested on this guy when he was in a young offenders home, and they turned him into he was completely unable to fight back. At one point, his old mates, the Droogs or whatever they used to call them, then after going to prison, after they kill a woman, the next time he sees them, they've become police officers and they give him a bit of police brutality, but he's unable to do anything, even though he used to be a feared gang member. Yeah, strange film, but he was apparently taken down with trauma-based mind control. And at the end of the film, he's handed a big pile of money as compensation, but in the book, they undo it all or something, and he comes out even more twisted than he was before. Okay. Susan Burns says, Santa Claus is a good example. Don't talk to strangers, but once a year a fat man comes down your chimney. This is a follow-on from JT33, says, I think trauma-based mind control starts on subconscious levels with Santa Claus. That's where Susan replies, Santa is a good example. Don't talk to strangers, but once a year a fat man comes down your chimney, and that's okay. You're absolutely right with Christmas. It's a very strange time of year in terms of parents and children. Surely, I mean, I imagine most parents teach children to be honest, and then they lie to them about Santa. You're absolutely right, they teach their children don't talk to strangers. But around Christmas, go and sit on Santa's lap. Very weird. Don't take stuff from strangers, as you just said. Personally, I celebrate Christmas as little as possible. I think it's got an awful lot of vile stuff going on. Okay, right, if anyone would like to further read, I have just noticed I've nearly been going for an hour. I will be going on till about 11 p.m. tonight, so another 30 minutes. I do have a few other subjects, so if anyone wants to further read Fundamentals of Trauma-Based Mind Control Part 1 by Eva Lorgan, I am putting a link in the live chat. Oh. Well, I would if I still had YouTube open. That was clever of me. Sorry, 1 second. Actually, I believe I may be able to do it through here. No, I can't. Right, I do want to get the live chat open. Sorry, people. 1 second. Yeah, I will be going on to another subject. Talking of YouTube, I don't know if any of you caught my recent... if anyone caught my recent... most recent video. It's a short, as they say. Right. I'm going to just link to trauma-based mind control article TBMC, and there is the link. Okay. Yeah, I did a short, and I do have another one ready to go. I did want to... Why isn't it on here? For some reason it isn't showing up. I don't understand that. Playlists, nope. Oh, it was. Sorry, I'm being really silly. Right. Shorts are 4-minute videos. Sorry, less than 1 minute videos. Apparently they're supposed to take on TikTok. I think it's ridiculous, but yeah, I've got another one ready to upload, and I did want to preview it here this evening to see if anyone... well, just to get your opinions on it, really. It is going back to one of my old favourite stories is... let me see, right. I will stop this, hang on. Back and forth. Sorry, people. Social media accounts of Jake Quickenden, in which he sort of mocked my suggestion that his Instagram account uses CGI. So I thought we would... Okay, my apologies. I did not mean it to suddenly start playing like that. Hang on. I was hoping I would be able to pause it, which I should be able to do. Okay, here we go. Right. Yeah, as I said, this is a less than 1 minute video. It is based on basically me believing that on Instagram, celebrities use... hang on, where are we? Celebrities... No, wrong one, sorry. I've had a quick back and forth with the social media... Right, here we go. Yeah, it is based on... I've made videos in the past. The only one about celebrities faking their babies. The only celebrity to ever come back, actually comment in response to it, was this one, Jake Quickenden. Apparently he was on X Factor before, saying I'm crazy, basically, calling me deranged. So this video was a response to that. I'll play it through. Literally goes on for 45 seconds. And I'm curious if any of you think I'm either A, way off the mark, B, got a point, or C, just opening myself up to more you're deranged, you need to get help comments, but hey-ho. Because this guy, he will generally, if I make a video about him with his name in the title, he will respond to them. Okay, I'm going to shut up for 45 seconds and let you watch it. I've had a quick back and forth with the social media accounts of Jake Quickenden, in which he sort of mocked my suggestion that his Instagram account uses CGI. So I thought we would take a look at a couple of the videos. All of these are from Jake's Instagram account. Here you can see the baby. What's that strange glitchy line under the chin? Almost like where they superimposed one face over another. And then if we look at this other video, we can see the around the jaw, it actually looks kind of transparent. And then if we go up to the top of the head, you can sort of see where one head has been superimposed on top of a doll's head. Anyway, that's what I reckon. Share your thoughts, and thanks for watching. Okay, that was the video. So, right, I'm not going to play it again. I am curious on any feedback, particularly, well, I mean, it's basically about these two videos on that they put on Instagram. Surely, obviously, it's very subtle. I'm not saying that these are amateurs doing these, making these videos, and they do make them look very legitimate, but I'm surely not the only person that sees that there's a small line going on. Can I mute this one? Hang on. So yeah, let me know. David says, let's talk about the UK government ordering large amounts of midazolam. That rings a bell, actually. We will. I just wouldn't mind getting a bit of feedback. David, thank you for the suggestion. And David also said, according to the BBC, a lady ran into a pub and hid under a pool table. She felt she was being hunted in Plymouth. Okay. Was that the same day? Right. Okay, so, yeah, like I said, did anyone else see what I see in these videos? I mean, to me, that little line underneath the chin is blatant. But what's even more blatant is the second video. Now, again, when I zoom in, weirdly, it does not look that obvious, but when it zooms out, you can see that the jaw, basically there's two jaws on this person's head. Just there. Yeah, I hope I'm not the only one that can see it. Add enough, so the second one looks robotic. Well, actually, yeah, the second one, it's funny you mention that, because I'm actually zoomed in on the video. You don't see what's going on. And strange thing with this baby, they're constantly patting it. Now, if you believe if you believe the story about this baby, it's apparently got a hernia, and they had to cancel hernia the need for a hernia, but yeah, it doesn't stop them patting its backside all over the place, left, right, and centre. Okay, but the most obvious one here, I think, is the head. Am I the only person that can see two heads there? Adina, thank you for agreeing. I mean, as I say, I hope everyone, other people can also see the fact that this is two heads in one. It's not the first time I've seen it. We also saw it with the royal baby. On that note, actually, I came across something in the press. Swedish royals. Now, I don't for a second believe that the British royal family are the only people that fake their children. Now, perhaps once they grow up a bit, they do use real babies, but real people. But there is a video that they share on here. You'll probably have to watch a 20-minute advert to get to it. Of course, those strange-looking creatures attended this baby's christening. Where was the video? Oh, some royal guard passed out. Where was the vid? I'm sure there was a vid. Do I have to? Probably have to read more. Huh. No, that wasn't the one. It was this one when we saw the video. My apologies. Yeah, another celebrity baby that just doesn't quite look right to me. We will have a look at David's suggestion to talk about large amounts of midazolam. David, what is midazolam? Is it something to do with what they give people on death row or something? Right, but anyway, yeah, I do want to have a quick look to see a couple of Prince Julian. Let's see if there's any images or videos quickly of this baby, which might be a bit suspect. Oh, didn't want to do that. Prince Julian. I'm curious whether it... let's see. But she is a dead ringer for Kate, Prince William's partner. Is this where they bring it out onto the... Oh no, there's nothing new there. I wonder if they do something where they show off the baby. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe not. It was just something I thought could be of interest, but perhaps it won't be. Yeah, newborn Prince Julian. He can't be that newborn, surely. Carl Philip. Right, I'm curious to see whether we get any movements. Hang on. Prince Carl Philip of Sweden. If we see if they're on Instagram, because of course they would put it up on there. Prince Carl Philip. Nope. He's got an IMDb thing though. Huh. Okay. Maybe there won't be, like we get with Archie, a blatant giveaway. And we'll just have a look. Doesn't that look like very similar to Archie? Assuming that is the same baby. It's got the same cold, dead black eyes. Okay, we're not going to spend too much time on this. I was just hoping we might see a video of it on like the day it was announced. No, obviously not. How boring. Killjoys. Obviously in Sweden they just announce their babies. They don't make a big deal about it. Susan Burns says, yes, it was used at the beginning of this hoax in old people's homes. Interesting. Okay, if that is what you people would like us to look at. Oh, David says it is an end-of-life drug given in care homes. Adinough says they help them die, not survive now. Legally, of course. Yeah, I've heard some nasty stuff on that. Actually, I did come across it was a screenshot, and I looked online for this, but I could not find, just while we're maybe on this subject. Where are we? Bear with me, people. Yeah. I know I said I wasn't going to talk too much about bugs and viruses and vaccines and whatnot, but here was one screenshot I thought may be of interest to people. I mean, I've always said I'm certainly not going to be afraid of anyone forcing me to take something I don't want to. Right, NHS, COVID pass, exemptions. Maybe I could try and zoom in a bit. Now, as I said, I went onto the NHS website and looked closely for this, but couldn't find it. There will be a small number of exemptions for individuals who have a medical reason, which means they cannot vaccinate or test. Bear in mind, I'm deadly against testing. No two ways about that. And vaccinating just as much. I personally wouldn't have anything to do with any of it, but each to their own. So yeah, I was very interested to read that there are some small exemptions of individuals. Your customer, basically this is talking about shops. Your customers may declare a medical exemption directly with you. You and your staff should not ask for any evidence of the exemption. Please note that any form of visual cue that indicates an exemption should be respected. This can include a handmade version, whatever that means, unless they're talking about something they expect you to stitch on your arm, like the Star of David that the Jews were allegedly told to wear during Nazi Germany. Yeah, so any visual clue has to be respected. This can it is not mandatory for an individual to wear a visual cue to outline they are exempt. You should not ask these individuals to demonstrate their status through the NHS app. If your customer confirms that they have a self-declared exemption but is unable to show any evidence, you should allow them access to your venue or event. You must not ask for proof of their medical exemption, and it is not essential they show you any form of exemption card at any point. As I said, I did look on the website for this, but could not find it. So before we have a look at the drug, we will about midazolam, we will just quickly jump on the NHS's website, because I would love to. I mean, again, I'll do a search for it. If we just do exemption, or maybe COVID pass. Visitors who do not need to pay for okay. But yeah, I did think, again, very much like public transport, wearing masks on public transport. Everyone said, you will not have a chance, you will not get on a train without one. And yet, I never wore one. I declared myself exempt. And the odd person maybe asked me once what it was, and I just blanked them, didn't tell them that was a member of staff on a train. Members of the UK Armed Forces need to visit. Okay, who can get a pass? What you need to get a pass: 1 or 2 doses, positive PCR. Perhaps on here, if you were vaccinated as part of an official clinical trial in England, you should have received a letter. Yeah, isn't it all official clinical trials? How you get your pass, get a digital version. Yeah, I'm hoping that they mention an exemption. Protecting your data. Nope. Funny, that thing about the exemption doesn't get mentioned on this bit, but we will see. Okay, right, we will have a look for that drug in a minute, but I'm guessing that if the press have reported it, I'm guessing that they'll just claim that it's innocent. It's sort of thing they always do. Okay. So yeah, if you're aware of an exemption to having to ever have one of these passes, not that anyone's ever asked me for one yet, but who knows what's coming. Find out how to demonstrate your status, read about travel abroad from... Book a vaccination, get a test, what are the symptoms, testing, vaccination, pass, self-isolation, people at high risk, how to avoid... Okay. Notice that they do not have a part here about adverse effects to the vaccine, do they? That is, of course, because vaccines are all voluntary. No one's forcing you to. They may try and trick you by telling you your life will be made very difficult if you don't, but hey-ho. Bob Muir says that Bernishian had a good video on the BZLive. And enough, they haven't found the right toy doll yet. No, absolutely not. David, I have the pass ready to use. Okay, fair enough. Is it the middle finger that you're going to show people, or do you genuinely have one? I'm sure I saw a story about people selling fake ones or something. I have to have a look for that. Oh, I know what it was. I've covered his videos before. It was the YouTuber A Call for an Uprising, which a few people are a little suspicious about because he is a very, popular YouTuber. And he had a picture, and I'm sure he'd done a video about people making fake passports, but I didn't watch it. Anyway, let's see, can I spell the name of that drug correctly? BZLive, BZLive. Let's see what comes up. BZLive hydrochloride is a water-soluble benzodiazepine available as a sterile, non-pyrogenic parenteral dosage, intravenous or intramuscular. Each dose contains 5 milligrams. So a benzodiazepine, is that a sedative? It's a risk to pregnant people. Let's see. Of course, the first results on Bing are never gonna necessarily give you particularly reliable answers. What is the purpose of? Is used to sedate a person who is having minor surgery, dental work, or other medical procedures. BZLive may also be used for purposes not listed. Yeah, I mean, that does seem a very strange thing for the government to order. Government order. Let's see. If any of you have any links that you wish to share, then please let me know. The evidence. You stayed at home to protect the NHS. Alright. Okay, I believe we may have found a link to this. This is from rightsandfreedom.wordpress.com. Right, the evidence. You stayed at home to protect the NHS, but they gave BZLive to the elderly and told you they were COVID deaths. As I've said, I know 2 people, both vulnerable, both with special needs, learning difficulties, complex needs, whatever the political correct term is. Both went into hospital as not exactly, not like ill. Well, they were ill. I believe one of them, it was all very complicated. One of them was admitted to hospital because of a carer that they had that tested positive, and I think they were just keeping it on the safe side, and they took this person to hospital. The other went in hospital on completely unrelated terms, although they seemed in good health. I think they had some sort of unrelated seizure that they'd had loads of times before. Both died within a day of going into hospital. So I really do not struggle to accept that hospitals, well, that something weird's going on in hospitals. You do not go there to get well, that's for sure. According to this article, in March 2020, the British people were told that they must stay at home, must protect the NHS and save lives. They were also told that the authorities needed just 3 weeks to flatten the curve. I do remember that lie. Why were British people instructed to stay at home? Because of a new threat and emerging viruses, which we were told originated in the city of Wuhan. A virus which has claimed the life of 128,000 to date in the United Kingdom, or so we're told. This is June the 13th, so just over a month, 2 months old, this article. But what if we could prove that you've given up 15 months and counting of your life due to a lie, but not just any lie, a lie that has involved prematurely ending the lives of thousands upon thousands of people who you were told died of BS19, a lie that has involved committing one of the greatest crimes against humanity in living memory. I definitely agree with that, particularly in this part of the world. I mean, other countries, who knows, right? A lie that has required 3 things: fear, your compliance, and a drug known as midazolam. Authorities state that BS19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus dubbed SARS-CoV-2. The World Health Organization tells us most people infected will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recover without requiring special treatment. However, they state that older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. We're told that serious illness in patients presents pneumonia and accompanying respiratory inefficiency. Therefore, typical symptoms include breathlessness, cough, weakness, and fever. We're also told that people who suffer deteriorating respiratory failure and who do not receive intensive care develop acute respiratory distress syndrome with severe breathlessness. Okay, and then we get an explanation of pneumonia. Inside the lung, it causes the lungs to fill with fluid, making it harder for them to work properly. Pneumonia is not a new condition. The British Lung Foundation shows us the majority of pneumonia cases occur in those who are aged 81 and over. Okay. This is a very long article. So we will try and get to the bit where they mention midazolam, if we can. Now, I'm sure it would be worth reading properly. Unfortunately, we do not quite have time this evening. So, of course, I will put a link to this article. Right. Data taken from the National Office of Statistics shows us that during April 2020, there were 26,541 deaths that occurred in care homes, an increase of 17,850 on the 5-year average. This is half the amount of alleged COVID-19 deaths during the same period. So why did so many people die in care homes when hospitals were far from overwhelmed? Surely if they have developed serious complications due to COVID-19, they would require urgent medical attention and hospital treatments. But don't forget, we were told that serious illness in patients present pneumonia and accompanying respiratory insufficiency. By the way, one of the cases that I was mentioned of the vulnerable person did, I believe they claimed they had pneumonia as well, or was it, what was the other one? I think they did claim that pneumonia, but of course, BS19 got a special mention. Susan Burns says it is used to end the life of prisoners on death row. We could have a look to confirm that. All the symptoms of BS19 are the same as the effects of the drug given to them. Okay. David says, I'm so embarrassed to be British. It's disgusting what happens in care homes over the past 17 months. You're absolutely right. The worst thing for me about all of it is, well, I mean, where do you start? What's worse, trying to convince people who are in their twilight years that you can no longer live your life. You basically might as well be dead now because we're not going to let you out the door on the off chance you get ill. Or telling them you're not allowed to visit family, none of your family can come and visit you. I completely agree, David. It is vile how the elderly, particularly how all of us have been treated, but people in care homes, yeah, what a horrible place to have been these last couple of years, or last 18 months. Yeah, this is a heck of a... Okay, we've got to my Dazalam. Matt Hancock's abandonment of the elderly and vulnerable didn't end there. Whilst the NHS were busy discharging patients who required medical treatment into care homes under his directive, Matt Hancock and the Department of Health were busy trying to source them all a certain drug known as midazolam. Midazolam is a commonly used drug in palliative care and is considered one of the 4 essential drugs needed for the promotion of quality care in dying patients in the United Kingdom. We did a story about... I say we did a story. I was informed of a particular type of palliative care by one of my regular viewers, Amanda... I'm sorry, Amanda, I've forgotten your surname. But yeah, she informed me of the Liverpool Care Pathways, it was called. An absolutely horrible way of ending the life of elderly people, or people determined to be dying. They basically withheld food and water from them and just let them starve or dehydrate to death. What a horrible way to go, you know. And of course, I researched in that case. I saw that Marie Curie, which is a charity that provides nurses to people who are dying, were apparently had a big involvement in the development of this Liverpool Care Pathways, and that's changed my view on Marie Curie. Not necessarily the staff doing it, but yeah, things are never quite what you think. I have found that out. Yeah, Susan Burns said it's not just Britain, it is happening all over the world. You're absolutely right. We will read a couple of paragraphs and then I'm going to start winding down because it is now 11 p.m. over here. So, midazolam is also a drug that has been used in executions by lethal injection in the USA, combined with 2 other drugs. Midazolam acts as a sedative to make the prisoners unconscious. The other drugs then stop the lungs and heart working. However, it has been the source of controversy as several prisoners took a long while to die and appeared to be in pain when midazolam was used. It can cause serious or life-threatening breathing problems such as shallow, slowed or temporarily stopped breathing that may lead to permanent brain injury or death. UK regulators state that you should only receive midazolam in a hospital or doctor's office that has the equipment that is needed to monitor your heart and lungs and to provide life-saving medical treatment quickly if your breathing slows or stops. A doctor or nurse should watch you closely if you receive this medication to make sure that you're breathing properly, because it induces insignificant depression of respiration. Your doctor should also be made aware if you have a severe infection or if you've ever had any lung, airway or breathing problems. Midazolam is also used before medical procedures and surgeries to cause drowsiness, relieve anxiety and prevent any memory of the event. I have gone under for, I have had a general anaesthetic, and I guess that's what they inject into your hand. I remember being told count back from 10 and you never getting past 7 or something. But when I was a child, I had a tooth abscess, and that I remember they literally put a mask over my face. It wasn't any injection. This would probably have been in the late 80s. And I remember that the gas they used smelled like, you know, those very strong marker pens, if you've ever smelt one of them. It was like getting a big whiff of that, and I looked around and people's heads were literally looked like they were stretching out in front of me. Very weird, yeah. Very strange. Yeah, this article is packed full of information about midazolam. UK regulators insist midazolam should only be administered in a hospital or doctor's office, and used with extreme caution in elderly patients. Knowing that, would you use midazolam to treat people who were suffering pneumonia and respiratory insufficiency due to alleged COVID-19? No, of course you would not. That sounds absolutely insane. Well, Matt Hancock and friends certainly seem to think so, as you can see in the following video. They do share a video, whether that one will still be up, who knows. It looks like they tried to embed it. The above exchange took place in a parliamentary committee. Right, Dr. Evans, a good death needs 3 things: equipment, medication and staff to administer it. On the equipment, do you have enough syringe drivers in the NHS to deliver medications to keep people comfortable while they're passing away? Matt says, yes, we have. A challenge we raised on that about 8 days ago. Dr. Evans, syringe drivers are used to deliver medications such as midazolam and morphine. Do you have any precautions in place to assure that we have enough of those medications? Matt Hancock, yes, we have a big project to make sure that the global supply chains for those sorts of medications, as well as the ITU medications that I spoke about earlier, are clear. In fact, those medications are made in a relatively small number of factories around the world, so it is a delicate supply chain, and we are in contact with the whole supply chain. Wow. That looks like pretty... we're given a source. And then we get an extract from an article which confirms the United Kingdom purchased 2 years' worth of midazolam. This isn't the first time I've come across this. I do remember reading about it. What I'm going to do is leave a link to this article in the live chat if anyone wants to read it further. Thank you to David, I believe it was, that suggested we look at this story. Where's my live chat? Hang on. Oh, need to mute that or we'll be getting an echo. Actually, I could just pause it. Right. Link to my midazolam blog post. Oh, actually, there we go. Okay. We have been going for just over an hour and a half, so I am gonna start winding down. I do not believe there was anything else I wanted to look at. I was going to have a very quick look at Danny Dyer's baby, this being the daughter of EastEnders actor. While it looks like a good picture, look how plasticky and look at the eyes in this video. 15 seconds.
Happy hands.
Look at the eyes, they do not move.
Do it. Yay. Anns.
Oh, right, it's just a repeat of the first video.
Do it. Yay.
Again, yeah, fake babies all over the place. As I said, I'm going to be uploading a short video, a 15-second video of Jake Quickenden's a couple of posts he's put on Instagram. I would be curious if, I would be curious what sort of feedback you think I'm going to get, because that guy's army of fans have, I would say, attacked me, but what I'm going to call it is a subtle CGI or something, because it is very subtle, but I do believe that the proof is there. Okay, I would like to extend my thanks to, let's see, where is, okay, bear with me people. Right, a massive thanks to Susan Byrne, David, CC Jelly, Add Enough, Bob Mule, JT33, I'm not sure if you're still with us, but if you are, greetings. Cider Guy, again, I don't know if you're still with us, I hope you are. Andrew Lidgett, again, shared some very interesting information earlier on in the chat, as do all of you guys. And I think that's everyone who has commented in tonight's live chat. If I've missed anyone, then please forgive me. I did say we were going to play out watching JT33's latest video, which I think I still have access to. Bear with me a minute. Oh, pressing the wrong thing. What am I doing? Oh, hang on. Okay, I will just have a quick. Susan Burns says the children in the hospital are the result of the Gibby. Huh. Yeah, Dave says loads of stuff to mention. The night's not long enough. You're absolutely correct. Are there a lot of children in hospital in America? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but it just wasn't something I was aware of. Okay, I will certainly be back next week, next Sunday. Okay, right, I was looking for that video by JT33. It looks like we'll have to go to the YouTube channel, which means I'll have to play out listening to with the speakers on. Big thanks to everyone who's tuned in this evening. Okay, I do massively appreciate it, and particularly those who have commented in the live chat. It's always good to have some interaction with you guys, and that is what's great about Sunday evening live streams for me. Right, I'm just going to load up again. If JT33 is still with us, oh yeah, he's there in the chat. I hope you do not mind us playing out on one of your videos. And yeah, the Masquerade, that is what we played in on last time. So we will be playing out on that in a minute. And yeah, as I say, guys, thanks ever so much everyone who's tuned in. Have a great week, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back with you soon. Okay, I'm going to put on the video. Yeah, hope you can make it back next Sunday. Thanks, people. Take care. Right, just got to load this up. And then, yeah, once the video's finished playing, that will be it. Although, if I want to put a link in the chat, I will have to do it now because I'm basically streaming straight from YouTube. Now I've got to find the live chat. Where is it? There we go. I will also put a link to this in the description of the video. Link to JT33 music video. Oh, okay, did that go on? I believe it did. Yeah, I think great. Yeah, keep up the good work with your music, JT33. It's pretty awesome. It's good stuff. I've been a fan of it since I first played it. Alright, I'm going to zip it now, and at the end of this video I will end the show. So take care everyone. Have a good one. Yeah, apologies if the audio isn't that great. I'm playing it. I'm playing it through my speakers. Okay, take care everyone. Good night.
You have now entered the New World Order's AI construct, where nothing is as it seems. Your dreams and aspirations have been selected for you. All that makes you who you are was predetermined by the now functioning AI. Free thought is no longer an option. We now have control over all things, including the very thoughts we allow it to have. Do not try to resist. Welcome to the masquerade.
Some sort of illusionary grid that we're living in. Still I'm entrenched in the thought that my thoughts are my own and I'm giving it. Tired of living with hypnotic psychosis of going through all of the social media motions. I don't care what you're posting in. Keep on scrolling through all of the propaganda. Keep on showing support. You're giving them the upper hand. You can find any info to support any truth that you want to pursue it. Truth is subjective. I'm being selective and choosing the path, and I knew it. Welcome to the masquerade. We're playing charades where the world has been staged like a play. The play is on the people. Either you wake up or succumb to the evil. When you succumb to the evil.
Are you in or out?
You want to turn back? No, just kidding.